BrandTales is two things, or maybe three things. First of all, maybe I have to explain how it happened, how I founded BrandTales. I've been working in journalism and media production for some years, and I really got annoyed by three things. First of all, it's how much money or how much of the percentage of the budget really goes into the project and how much goes into overheads, and it's a lot. It's more than 50% on most projects. So just to have a nice office, to have a fancy website, all these things that you actually don't need for the project, and it's just show off. And so I was annoyed by that. And the second thing was that you'd rather sit down and think about what else can you sell the client instead of sitting down and actually think about what does the client need and what's a good quality product. And the third thing was that freelancers were notoriously underpaid, and that if you make a pricing, you put like 800 per photographer for the client, and then in the end you have to call the photographer and tell him that you can't pay more than 200 a day, and because of all the overheads. And especially in media production, in magazines and films and stuff like that, I experienced that I can't count the times that people came up to me and asked me to write an article for free because of the exposure. They told me that I need the exposure they can give me through their magazine. And actually, I believe that with the internet, we don't need anybody else to give us the exposure. We can, as long as we stick together, as long as we work together, we can get our own exposure. And that's the first thing BrandTales is. It's supposed to be a network of freelancers creating their own exposure, creating their own projects, and formatting themselves to teams. And so basically what BrandTales is a freelance agency. And it starts with me. I come up to the client, or the client comes up to me, and we sit together and I consult them on what they need or what they want, and then we come up with a plan, and then, but only then, I go out and gather a team of the specialists I can get for the budget, and the best people I can get for the budget to do the best job. And I don't have to work with people I'm employing, because I'm employing no one. I'm just getting the best people together, and then pay them properly. And I've had clients telling me that they heard of someone working for 150 a day, and I tell them that's not the way it works. And I turn down clients just because they're not willing to pay properly for people. And so it's one thing, get like fair trade content and paying people properly, and get high quality content. And this we get by, I didn't like the structure in most of the agencies that you have a creative director and somebody writes a text that makes a design, and in the end it goes through different levels and it gets to the creative director, and it doesn't have the product in the end, it doesn't have anything to do with what the creative person did. And so I believe in teamwork and sitting together and working on a text or a magazine in general, and really trying to get the best quality in the end, which not only the client is happy about, not only I am happy with, but the person who created it or whose name is on it is happy with too. And the good effect that it has too is that if you write a text and you like it and you don't feel like somebody else altered it that much that you can't identify with it anymore, you will post it on Facebook, you will share it with your friends, you will really stand behind that project and that content, which is the best thing that could happen to content. I believe since nobody is willing to pay for content anymore, or you're not willing to pay as much as we need to pay the people properly, that we need to focus on brands, or focus more on brands. I don't think that's going to happen in the news section, because brands have to stay impartial, or most of them have to. But for the lifestyle section, for really good quality content in lifestyle area, I believe that it's not a sellout to have a brand involved in it. And you know about product placement, and I call it platform placement. So the idea is to have a platform which is branded and have content on it which is not branded at all. So you, as a brand, you get the identification with a certain kind of topics. So I don't know, if you're a sports brand and you make a sports magazine, you get like identification with these topics. But as a consumer, you still get the non-branded, really interesting, high-quality product, content to read. And as a freelancer or the people working on the project, you get properly paid. So everybody wins in the end. yeah, that's the approach. And we do a lot of image films and stuff like that too, like basic brand storytelling as well. Because I think that can be interesting too. If I buy a car, I want to know what's behind it. I want to know who designed the engine. I want to know all these things. And that could be really great content as long as you do it right. But we want to focus more on sponsored, brand-sponsored content. And I hope that one day, maybe in the future, we could have like a network, like maybe a worldwide network of freelancers not fighting each other for jobs, but creating their own jobs and going up to brands or to companies and pitching the ideas themselves and not depending on the agencies anymore. And agencies are fine, I don't have a problem with agencies, but I think that if you really want to make something happen for you, you just should take it in your own hands and you should learn how to work with other people. And with BrandTales, for example, we don't have any shareholders to satisfy. We don't have the overheads and everything. All we need is one person per project to be, for the client, someone to talk to, someone to make the offer, someone to consult them, someone who gives them the feeling of an agency. But like in the back end, you don't need these structures anymore. And so at first I thought we can do like little projects at the side and it can't really be big, but right now we're doing quite big projects and it does work as long as because what we do, we don't, as an agency, if you take a freelancer and you tell the freelancer it's going to be 5 to 10 days or so, and then he comes into the office or works from home, and if it takes him 15 days, you pay him 15 days, and if it takes him only 8, you pay him 8, but you don't have, it's really hard to stay in the budget. What we do, we only work offer-based. So I go up to a freelancer, tell them what the job is, and they make me an offer, and that's what we're going to pay them. And it's up to them if they're going to do it fast or slow. And as long as they identify with it, as long as they like the teamwork, they're going to make it good.